man. You're still fixed on this.
It don't make a grunt more sense to me today than it did a week ago, man.
Tell you what. Maybe it just takes Eden a little time to get over this Eleanor thing.
No way, no way. It's gotta be something else, and I gotta figure out what it is before I can deal with it. I mean, there's no reason on earth good enough to keep us apart, man. That's the truth, and you know it. But how am I supposed to get through to her if she won't let me in?
The change in me is you now.
The change in me is you somehow.
I used to think.
No. Wait.
So how did love ever find this fool lost in the dark?
And how did love find the key to open up my heart? Now I know there's no life without love.
Now I know what lovers always knew.
I was blind until you came and changed my point of view. But now I see the change in me is you.
You need right now is cheap advice, but seeing as that's the only kind of deal in...
Bro, this isn't gonna get us anywhere, man. Don't we have some kind of work to do around here?
Au contraire, business has been rather light lately since the boss took to staring out the windows all day long.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry if I haven't been pulling my weight. I'm aware of that.
Hey, look, Bud, we don't mind picking up the slack around here, but picking you up is beyond an employee's natural powers. The only person that can do that is Eden Capwell, and she will.
You think so?
Oh, I know so. I was there the last time you two got back together, the time before that, and the time before that. It will happen. Trust me.
I don't know, man.
Oh, I know whereof I speak. Come on, you two may break up, but you always get back together again. You're like one of the great romantic couples, like Bogey and Bacall, Tracy and Hepburn, Diana, the Belmonts. What's the matter? You got something against the Super Sounds of Philadelphia?
Look, I know what you're trying to do. I appreciate it, buddy, but
Don't
I think we should...
appreciate me. Just listen to me. Forget about why she's freezing you out right now. Just remember how you got her back in the past at the Orient Express. Romance, man. Romance. Pure and simple. What you do, it always works. You waltz up to her. You sweep her off her feet. You tell her that... I'm sorry, I keep forgetting about the chair.
That's okay, bro.
No. It's not okay. You deserve to hit me for that. Go, take your best shot.
Really, you're right. You know, it should be simple. And it would be if I knew why she was shutting me out.
No. Maybe she just needs a little more time. I mean, the handicap is a new thing. It requires a lot of energy to deal with it.
But it would be so much easier if she would just let me help, man. I have told her that I will do whatever is necessary to get her through this. Day and night, we can work as long and as hard as we have to. I want to take care of her. You think I give a damn about that wheelchair? You think I'm going to leave? You think I could ever stop loving Eden?
Wow. Well, you look like you just got hit by a ton of bricks or something. What?
Oh, man, I'm such a fool. She's not doing this to protect herself. She's doing it for me.
Daddy, we couldn't tell you about all the calls just because you won't look at me. I want to know why you and Cruz aren't together. You know, I saw what happened to him when he thought he lost you. I was there when they told him that your plane had crashed. I was there when he tried to say goodbye to you. And I'll tell you, I've never seen anyone more shattered with grief. Eden, he wanted to die. That is how much life meant to him without you. Please don't talk about this now, Kelly. Look, if it hurts you to hear what he went through, then you've got to love him more than you ever have, Eden, and there's no sane reason for you to be without him. Mama, what is going on? Tell me.
Eden, I'm sorry. She's pushing Cruz away because of the paralysis. She's afraid that she'll be a burden on him.
Cruz would never feel that way.
Yeah, well, you tell that to your sister. She's also not even telling him the truth. She's lying to him. She's pretending that she's jealous of Eleanor.
What?
I don't believe it. You promised me, Mama.
Eden, listen to me. Being handicapped is not the end of a person's life, and it would never change the way Cruz loves you, ever.
What I would have with him would not be love. And I don't want pity.
Some men would give you pity, but he would never do that, and he would never stop loving you.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Eden, we have to. Mama, will you leave us alone for a minute, please? Let me do this, please.
All right. You're wasting your time.
I've got plenty of time.
Let
Eden.
go of me.
You don't want any pity, Eden. I won't give you any. But I love you too much to let you ruin your life and Cruz's because of your pride. That's what this is. You're not perfect anymore and you can't stand it.
You have no right to talk to me that way.
I know you're hating me for this, but if I don't, who will? Mother and Daddy sit there and they don't have the heart to argue with you, but damn it, you're handicapped. You're not dead.
You don't know anything about it.
Then you tell me.
You wouldn't understand.
Because I can walk and you can't?
Okay. You're right. And I shouldn't have to apologize for the way I feel.
Baby, Cruz deserves to know how you feel. You owe him the truth.
I owe him a decent life. And I can't give it to him.
Eden, stop running away from this. I'll go to Cruz, and I'll tell him everything.
If you do that, I'll never forgive you, Kelly.
You're not being fair. To you or to him. Now, I mean it. If you don't go to him and tell him why you're shutting him out, I will.
Cruz. And if you do, I'll have to leave this house. I'll have to leave Santa Barbara.
Is that what you told Mother and Daddy? Is that the threat you used to keep them quiet?
I'll do it. I swear I will.
No, you won't, Eden. I know you too well. And I'm too much like you to fall for it. Because when I came home, I was so angry at how Daddy and Mason were treating Jeffrey that I threatened to leave the family too.
It's not the same.
Yes, it is the same. Because if someone had called my bluff, I wouldn't have been able to go. Leave the family that I'd missed so much for so long, not in a million years.
Oh, dear God.
I know you're angry, Eden. You're angry at me, at yourself, and at the rotten fate that did this to you. I don't blame you for that. But you're scared, I can tell.
Leave me alone.
I don't want to leave you alone because you can't leave us. You need the family as much as I do and anybody else, Eden. And you may not think you need Cruz, but you cannot do it alone.
I know I can't. I know I can't. Don't you think a day doesn't go by that I don't feel helpless?
I'm not talking about your body. I'm talking about your mind and your heart. And baby, I know what you're scared of. I do. I do. You're afraid that Cruz will care for you and love you and do anything in the world to help you.
Yes, I am. I know he'd stand by me. And I know he'd love me. And he'd compromise his life. And I can't do that. I would see him drown in obligations, and I would know that it was me that was dragging him down. And I can't do that. That's why I'm pushing him away. I admit it. Are you happy now? Are you?
No. Eden, you think you're not a whole person because you're handicapped. What would you be without him, and what would he be? Not whole. Now, do you want him to live a life like that with no compromises, no sacrifices, and no love?
I want what's best for him.
You're what's best for him.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You know what I think? I think the worst handicap is the ones that people make for themselves. The ones that shut off from life out of fear. Because they won't accept love from people because they can't love themselves. What is it, Daddy?
Letter just arrived. From Mason.
Well, Cruz, I guess you must be anxious to get to the office.
Cruz isn't going anywhere, Eden.
Kelly, please.
No one's leaving this room until this thing is settled. He has to say something. Cruz, Eden has something to tell you. Eden, he loves you. Can't you see that? Can't you look in his eyes and see how much love there is?
Cruz, will you go, please? Kelly doesn't know what she's talking about.
The hell I don't! Did anyone tell you about your memorial service, Eden? How we were all so torn up with grief, Daddy could barely even talk? And then when Cruz spoke, because of what he said about you and because of the way he said it, we all realized that even though what had happened to you, you had been blessed. You had been loved the way most people dream about. He loved you so much that a part of him died when he thought you died.
A part of me has died.
You guys have each other. This is the most important thing right now.
Help me, Kelly.
I am helping
I'm
you.
not strong enough. I can't.
I'm helping you.
I can't.
You tell him. Tell him. Come on.
I need
you. Tell him.
Tell me what? Please, please. I think I understand why you don't want to see me. It has nothing to do with Eleanor. It has everything to do with this wheelchair, with the situation with your legs.
Yes, it does. I didn't. I can't walk. And I may never be able to.
Darling, if that proves to be the case, and I don't believe that it will, we can deal with it.
You have no idea what's involved. There is not 1 minute from the time I wake up in the morning to the time when I go to bed. There's not one time that's not compromised and limited. And I won't have that for you.
Don't you understand, darling? I love you. I love you. And I intend to keep on loving you the rest of my life.
I know you love me. And I think in the beginning that might just be enough. Until one day you realize that the frustration and the anger that I have felt starts to get to you, and you realize what we had, what we lost.
No, baby, that's not going to happen. It's simply not going to happen. We can beat this together. I know we can.
You're not listening.
Well, you're not making sense.
No, you're not listening. I may not walk again. I may not get better.
No, you listen to me. We will deal with that.
No, we won't. I am a half a person. I feel like nothing. And I am not going to ruin your life. We had before. Walks on the beach. Nights before the fire.
The way we used to dance, I don't think anybody danced the way we used to.
Baby, listen to me. You are talking about things that don't matter. They were just ways that we expressed the way we felt about each other. We'll find new ways. We'll find better ways. As long as we love each other, all the rest of it will fall into place.
This isn't just one big problem. It's 1,000 little ones. It's the kind of thing where frustration and disappointment just add up and they take hold of a relationship and they strangle it. And you deserve better. I want you to find someone that you can love and have children and have all the things that we dreamed about.
For God's sake, I don't want anybody else. I want you. And I will not let you give up hope.
I'm afraid to hope.
Well, you've got to be brave. I know you love me, and I know you need me, and I am not going to let you go through this alone.
No.
Whether you like it or not.
You just leave me alone. Leave me alone. What is it, Mama?
I thought you should know. The ambulance is out front. Kane is here. I just wanted to tell you that there's an ambulance outside. I think Kane is here.
Well, an ambulance just pulled up. I assume that means your friend from the mountains is here.
Please don't start, Daddy.
I'm surprised I even let it go this far.
Kane, I'm glad you agreed to come. I know you're gonna like living here. Cruz, but this is my mother, Sophia Capwell.
Mrs. Capwell.
Hello, Kane.
And this is my father, Cece Capwell.
Mr. Capwell.
Can I show you to your room now?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Mama.
Right,
I'll see you in a little while. I want to know why you're acting this way.
Because I happen to hate having that man in my home. It goes against everything I know is right.
I need him here. Why can't you accept him for that reason?
Because I don't understand it. And I don't like it.
I wish I knew why everybody was so suspicious of Kane.
Well, when a man drags you away from a public place at gunpoint, Eden, it's kind of difficult not to be suspicious of him. In fact, it's kind of difficult not to think that you have lost your mind moving him in here.
He didn't do what he did because he wanted to harm me. He didn't want to see me get hurt.
And is that supposed to explain why he kept you in those mountains for 5 months while we all thought you were dead?
I'm too tired to talk about this anymore.
You know, I want to remind you, I stood in the man's cabin. I looked him in the eye while he lied to me. He deliberately kept you and me apart. Now, if there's some way you found of justifying that in your own mind, I'd be glad to hear what it is.
I don't need to justify that to you or anybody else.
Apparently not. But I am amazed, I gotta tell you. See, I remember a time when a guy like that couldn't have come between you and me. When the power of our love would have healed these wounds. I guess I have too long a memory. I guess you've forgotten what it was like to depend on me.
I'm sorry if it hurts you that I have to rely on Kane and not you.
You want to tell me what happened in that cabin?
I told you. He nursed me back to health and he helped me walk.
And so you're grateful to him. I understand that. That does not begin to explain this kind of obsession.
What? How dare you?
Are you in love with him?
You really think I slept with Kane, don't you?
I asked you a question.
You have no
Are you in love with the man?
I have feelings for him. He saved my life.
In other words, you can't answer me.
I am not accountable to you.
Yeah, obviously not, Eden. And I'll tell you, quite frankly, I don't want to know the details. Whatever happened in that cabin, as far as I'm concerned, it's in the past, unless it affects our future.
We have no future together.
I'm not going to listen to that. I told you I don't give a damn about this wheelchair. You are the only woman I will ever love. I have known a lot of people who were in wheelchairs. They have a tougher time of it than the rest of us, but I don't pity them. Every single person on the face of the earth has to play the cards they've been dealt. Nobody has it perfect. Now, I wish to God this hadn't happened. But when I think about the lives that you and I have led and the blessings that could still be in store for us, I consider ourselves lucky.
I don't know what else to say to you. I'm sorry if you don't understand. I just want to be left alone.
Well, I'm sorry if I can't do that. Darling, I need you as much as you need me.
Please. Please just leave me alone.
No.
I just came from a wonderful encounter with our illustrious DA. Yet another attempt to get him to drop charges against Victoria.
No luck, I guess.
You know, the weirdest thing is, I can tell he knows he shouldn't be going to trial with it. And as big a jerk as he is, he's still a decent attorney. He knows he has a half-baked case, but he's still pushing it. Something's not adding up here. And it looks like I've come at a bad time to get some advice.
I'm sorry, Julia.
I expected to see Pearl here. I didn't think he'd be hanging around at the office. Eden's back in town. All right, what's wrong?
She doesn't want to see me.
Why?
I don't know. I guess I haven't convinced her yet.
What do you have to convince her of?
That I still love her as much as I ever did. Doesn't matter to me that she may not be able to walk anymore.
I didn't know how serious her injury was.
Doesn't matter.
Not to you, Cruz.
There's nothing in the world that could make me feel differently about Eden. All I want to do is help her.
I'm sure she realizes that.
And why is she pushing me away?
Because maybe she's not ready for your help yet.
She says it's over.
She doesn't mean that.
You know what she did, Julia? That man, the man who had her in the mountains for 5 months, she moved him into the house.
The man with the gun at the Orient Express?
Yeah.
Why would she do something like that?
She says that he can help. I don't know why, you know. But I don't care. I wouldn't mind if she would talk to me, if she would just give me a clue that she remembers who I am.
You know in your heart that Eden loves you. But she has been through an incredibly traumatic ordeal. She's facing the possibility of not walking again. And I know it's difficult for you. But if she's decided that she needs some time to think this through, then you need to respect that.
Julia, I thought she was gone all this time. I thought I'd lost her forever. Now she shows up again, and I'm supposed to disappear? Well, I'm sorry, but I can't do that.
I've heard of cases where women get totally obsessed with the men who hold them captive.
Well, I don't think that's what's happened to Eden.
Then you want to tell me what has happened to her? She doesn't make any sense. I try to talk sense into her. She keeps protecting him. She's overly protecting him. I can't pry her away from him.
Well, she thinks that the guy can help her.
He's admitted he can't help her. If I didn't know better, I think she would... No, she doesn't love anybody else but you.
Yeah, but it's just the matter of she doesn't want me to be around right now. She can't handle it.
You... Come on now, you know why, and you understand why. There must be something that the two of us can do to make her see the light about this man. There's got to be something.
To tell you the truth, I don't think this man is the problem.
What the hell do you think is the problem? Don't you remember what he did with the gun outside the hotel?
Yes, I do, but she is convinced that he didn't mean her any harm.
She was also convinced to let us think she was dead for 5 months. Don't you think he has some kind of hold on her? We've got to get him out of the house.
I think it's a matter of, it's Eden we should be worried about. I don't care about that guy. I care about getting through to her and making her realize that I still love her and I always will. That way, whether she recovers from this thing physically or not, she's going to be with me. We'll be happy. We'll have a life together. That's what's important.
You believe that, Cruz? Get your fanny over to the house and take control of the situation.
Mr. C, we're talking about Eden here. I'm not going to bully her into doing what I want. I love her. She's going to... You know what Eden is like.
So you're just going to stand by? Is that what you're going to do?
No, I'm not going to stand by. I'm going to hang around. I'm going to be in the picture. I'm going to go back as many times as I have to. But it's up to her to turn to me in her own good time.
So we're stuck with King. I put one of my guards on him. She's threatening to move out if I don't get rid of the guard.
Well, don't worry about that. I'm going to keep my eye on the guy as long as he's anywhere near her, believe me.
Hey, you promised me you never give up on her.
I thought she was dead, and I never stopped loving her. I'll be damned if I'm going to let go of her now.
That's my man.
Mr. C?
I'll be along in a moment.
I'm very sorry that your daughter's having such a difficult time, Mr. Capwell.
Are you?
No, there's something else. I saw it in your eyes when I mentioned Sue Lee's name.
Kane, I know that you'll remember things soon enough. I just think you should take it slowly.
No, you know something that you're not telling me, don't you? Something I don't remember. You have to tell me. You can't keep it from me. If I could help you walk, I would. You can help me remember. You have to do it.
She never made it out.
What are you talking about?
She didn't make it out of Saigon before it fell.
You saying she's dead?
Yes.
How did it happen? Tell me!
You were with her on the last helicopter out, and the crowd surged up and tore you apart.
I reached out to her. She grabbed hold of my hand. But I couldn't hold on. I dropped. I killed her.
No, you didn't. You tried to save her. You didn't.
No, I killed her. It's my fault she's dead.